In this video, we're going to look at how we can run exploits on Android devices using Android Debug Bridge. Android Debug Bridge, or ADB, is a command line tool that lets us communicate between a computer and an Android device commonly running on an emulator. We primarily use this tool for debugging, file transfers, app installations, or system management, but it can also be used as part of a penetration tester's toolkit. Some of the key features of ADB include its ability to perform device management on something like an emulator. It gives us shell access to an Android device, which can then allow us to manage both files and apps on that device. We can also use it to debug and collect logs on a device, as well as manipulate and work with the networking and wireless capabilities of a device. So our first step in using ADB is to obtain the tool. In this demonstration, I'm going to be working on a Windows system. So to obtain the ADB tool, open up a web browser and navigate to the URL seen at the top of my screen, which is developer.android.com/tools/releases/platform-tools. On this page, scroll down to the Downloads header and click on the download for your particular distribution. ADB is supported on Windows, Mac, and Linux. And in this case, because I'm on a Windows system, I'm going to click on Download SDK Platform Tools for Windows. Once your download has finished, extract the downloaded zip file to a folder of your choice, and then open up a terminal in that folder, which is what I've done here in my PowerShell window. If I run an ls command, I can see all of the tools that came with the Platform Tools zip file download, and at the top of the list is adb.exe. This is the ADB tool that we can work with on our command line. Now that we have the tool downloaded, we'll need to set up our own local emulator running an Android device. There are a variety of different tools that you can use to do this, such as Android Studio or Genymotion, and in this case, we're going to be running an emulator on Android Studio. Once you have your Android emulator up and running, you can use ADB to find it with the command /adb devices, and this will give an output of the list of devices that are attached. And in this case, we found our emulator, emulator-5554. And this is the emulator that we're going to be using. The first thing we're going to do is run adb root to run ADB as root on the device. Now, we've restarted the ADB tool as root. Next, we're going to enable ADB over Wi-Fi to help get us an insecure setup for the demonstration. We'll do that with the command /adb TCP/IP 5555. This will open up the access port on port 5555, making our device vulnerable. Next, we're going to find the device's IP address using ADB. We'll start with /adb shell IP-f inet adder show WLAN 0. Now in this case, because we're running on an emulator, Android Studio is routing the traffic differently, so we're seeing the default internal IP address of 10.0.2.16. What this means is that, in our case, ADB is communicating with the device on our local host using a forwarded port. However, if you were setting up a device with its own IP address, then the next step would be to run /adb connect, followed by the IP address, :5555, and this would connect to the device. In this case, we're already connected to the device via localhost, so we don't need to run this command. Now, because we have root access to the device via ADB, and the device let us do that because it's a vulnerable image, we can start to perform exploitation of that device using various ADB commands. So the first thing we could do is get device information. We could try running /adb shell get prop, and this will retrieve all of the device properties. We can oftentimes use this output to get information about various things like operating system versions, manufacturers, level of security patches that have been applied, software that has been installed, and all of this can go into our information gathering stage to help us determine how we want to attack a device. Next, we could try to expose any stored Wi-Fi credentials on the device using the command /adb shell cat /data/miss/wifi/wpa_supplicant.conf. And this will attempt to look for and output any stored credentials on the device. But in this case, there are no stored credentials, so we weren't able to find anything here. Additionally, if we wanted to upload our own malware to the device, we could also do that using ADB. If I run an ls command on my folder once again, I can see that in the output, I have malware.apk. This represents a malicious mobile application, and I can install that on the device using the command /adb install -t malware.apk. And now I've installed the malicious application onto the device. So these are just some of the ways that we can interact with and exploit devices if we have access to them via ADB. This can make it a very useful tool for performing security penetration testing and discovering vulnerabilities in your applications or your device itself.